I'm now basically going to drag some of that foundation and just kind of buff it into the sponge. And okay, now what we're going to do is start bouncing on the skin. We're going to start from the top and we're going to work our way down. We are back with another educational beauty video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to create a smooth foundation finish. So it's basically a flawless finish, and I'm going to be showing you how you can really get that smooth application with your foundation. And I'm showing you everything, how to prep your skin right until when you finish actually creating that really flawless, smooth foundation look. Now, if you do like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you don't miss any of my future videos. And don't forget, I'm over on Instagram too, so you can come say hi there. Now I think we need to head straight into this video. So today's video is going to be quite detailed. I have done another video in the past, which is how to get a smooth look, but I really wanted to focus on the application process today. So I'm going to be talking like everything from scratch. I've got no skincare on, so we're going to start from scratch. We're going to be talking about how certain skincare textures, types of products can help to give you that really nice kind of smooth look. It's a bit of everything. So every part of this is very important. It doesn't mean you have to use the exact same products, but that's why I'm going to be going through in detail what the product texture is like, so that you can have a think about, right, do I already have something similar to that? Let me try that. And also bear in mind that this is based on my skin. So the routine that I'm showing you, the skincare products that I'm showing you before I apply my foundation are products that suit my skin. And I will go into that, like what my skin type is, so that you can, like, you fully have all the information that you need. Okay, so let's get started. Like I said, or I don't know if I did say, I don't have any makeup on, no skincare, nothing. All I've done is washed my face. Now I have washed my face with my Kiehl's Blue Herbal Cleanser today, and I alternate between a few different brands. I have used this today because the last kind of week or so I feel like I've been breaking out. My skin's recovering and kind of almost normalizing. Is that a word? Normalizing? It's just, you know, getting back to normal. But it was kind of all over the place because of the traveling and everything. So I'm just trying to kind of like just, you know, a little bit of salicylic acid is going to do wonders for my skin at the moment. So that's all I've done, washed my face. Now I'm going to go straight in with my skincare. Just to explain to you, my skin is slightly dehydrated because it feels tight when after I wash it. At the same time, I break out sometimes, and that's due to the fact that, you know, I wear makeup a lot because of filming, and sometimes I do like a few looks in a day, so it's kind of like it takes its toll on my skin. So I suffer from breakouts. I have dehydrated skin, so at the same time those two issues are quite annoying to have, because you have to kind of like hydrate your skin but not overly hydrate it, so that, you know, it adds to the whole breakout part. So it's something which I've been like working on slowly throughout the years to try and figure out what suits my skin and what my skin is happy with. I will go through what I'm going to use. On a scale of 1 to 10 of texture, my skin is probably at 2 or 3, I would say, right? So I do have it more when I've broken out, and that can cause a problem when it comes to trying to achieve that smooth look. But at the moment it's pretty smooth, but at the same time, because I have been breaking out and I do have like acne scars and some spots that are still kind of like tiny ones underneath the skin, it is a bit kind of like textured at the moment because you can feel it. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using a serum first. This is just something to really add that boost of hydration in my skin. Now I don't use this daily. I only use this when my skin is feeling like overly dehydrated and I feel like I just need to almost give it a drink of water. This is my Drunk Elephant Be Hydrate Intensive Hydration serum. It is quenching and illuminating. It has pineapple ceramide, provitamin B5, and it literally says on here like a cool drink of water for your thirsty skin. It's ultra hydrating, it replenishes the complexion, and it improves the look of the skin's texture and tone. The reason I like this, and again I don't use this daily because I don't want to kind of like I don't want like I have to like kind of, none of that came out right, but I have to kind of like keep an eye on my skin in terms of giving it enough hydration, but also not too much, like I mentioned earlier. So I don't use this daily. I use this when I feel I need it. Thankfully, when I have used this I used it a few times to begin with to check what I thought about it, and it doesn't irritate my skin. It doesn't make my skin feel oily. It just genuinely just feels like a glass of water on my skin. So I'm going to take some of this. I'm just going to take one pump, and I am going to smooth this over my skin. It's not greasy either, so I love the fact that it just does what it says it's gonna do. See, my skin literally just soaked that all up. If I didn't put that on, it would be harder for me to get that smooth kind of application. So it's really about prepping your skin underneath first and then focusing on the types of products that you're going to use for your foundation. So now that I've addressed the hydration issue and I've given it that burst of hydration, I can now move on to things like the eye area and my moisturizer, and then move on to primer. So first off, we're going to use the eye cream, and my eye cream is, as you guys know, I've been using this for a while. This is my Drunk Elephant C Tango multivitamin eye cream. I just finished my other bottle the other day, so I just replaced this. So this is a new one now. Okay, so I'm just putting this around the eye area, and I just kind of like go in circular movements, and I go upwards this way. So it kind of just lifts the area. If I have time, like I do today, I kind of just like press, because it's just soothing. And you're really addressing, you're just kind of like looking after that area, you know, you're not just whacking all the cream on. That's nice and hydrated now. So my eye area is nice and hydrated. Now, if you don't use the right products to begin with, like for example, if you do have textured skin or you have slightly dry skin, I would say this whole routine is more tailored to normal skin, textured skin, dry skin, or like semi-dry skin, not like seriously dry skin where you've got full-on flaking and everything. So this is what, you know, the kind of skin types that this would work for. If you weren't to add the eye cream and the serum, you would find that a bit later on, once you've applied your foundation, it can almost look slightly your skin will look drier, you'll see lines more easily. It will end up looking slightly cakey too. So that getting that hydration in is really important to make sure that your skin, the application process of your foundation is smooth, but at the same time, the result is smooth too. So that when you've finished applying everything, like your foundation, your powder and everything, you then are finished, you're left with a really nice smooth look that doesn't look dry, doesn't look cakey, and doesn't kind of like look too kind of textured as well. So you're priming it, you're looking after it, you're making sure it's at its best self before you apply your foundation. And as you can see, in between each layer of product that I'm applying to my skin, I'm leaving a bit of a gap because I really want my skin to like focus on absorbing that product and not overwhelm it with so many other products. I'm now going in with my moisturizer, which is my Wind Marrakesh Witch. As you guys know, I absolutely love this moisturizer. This has honestly been amazing for my skin. It's not overly rich, it doesn't feel greasy, it gives me the hydration, and it continues to moisturize my skin throughout the day. I've just pressed that in basically. Now that we've applied the moisturizer, we're going to let that sit for a few seconds, and I'm going to choose which primer I use now. Okay, so the primer I'm going to go for today is my Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Primer. This is really good at kind of smoothing the skin, and I alternate between this and the Veil one sometimes. There you go. Let me get a little pump out, kind of dot this around. And I'm just going to smooth this over. And you'll feel when you apply this specific primer that you get a kind of smoother finish to your skin. It almost gives it this kind of like velvety feel. Now we are ready for foundation concealer application. Now I'm going to wait a few minutes and I'm just going to talk you through what I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using my concealer first. That's just to kind of like get rid of my dark circles, and then I'm going to apply my foundation. Now I'm not going to do any kind of contouring today. So usually I would underpaint, and I don't want to show you that today. I just want to show you foundation concealer application, how to get that really smooth finish, because I know a lot of you may not contour, and I'm well aware of that. So I just want to like leave that out today. Whereas the other kind of video that I did a while back that I mentioned at the beginning of the video about how to have smooth foundation, I think I did include contouring and like underpainting with that. So I'm going to leave that out today because I want this to be kind of appealing to everyone. I don't want to like mix in anything else and complicate it. We're just going to be talking about foundation and concealer application to get that really nice smooth application and finish. So first off, off, I'm going to use my concealer, and it is my Tarte Shape Tape in 35N medium, and I am just going to apply this on my eyelids first. Now, we applied a really good kind of eye cream, and it's like slightly balmy, so you do end up getting really good application with your concealer. Now, I'm using my sponge and I'm basically pressing it. So I'm just, can you see I'm bouncing it all over the skin on the eyelid area, which is where I want to focus on covering that kind of darkness. I'm going up into the brow. I'm making sure like the edges are nicely faded so it doesn't look like a whole kind of big patch. I'm going to do the same on this side, and my sponge is damp, by the way. Okay, we're going to go in with our powder. I'm using my Ben Nye Banana powder. I'm grabbing my Laura Mercier powder puff, just pressing it like that, and then we're going to go all over the lid. Grab your brush. This is my Real Techniques setting brush, and just dust it off. I honestly could not be bothered to do my hair today, so I've just like literally tied it back. There's like no style to it, so I'm fully aware of that. Now what we're going to do is conceal the under eye circles. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this. Now, if you are using a different texture concealer, then I can't guarantee this is the exact finish or close to kind of finish that you would get. So if you are using a kind of like much thicker concealer or much more fluid concealer, it doesn't mean you're going to get the coverage that this gives me. So obviously if you use the exact same products, then I think you're closer to getting a very similar finish to what I'm going to end up getting. But this gives me great coverage for my under eye circles. So what I do is I just apply it there, and I make sure I go like quite close in to the sides of the nose, just so there's not really, you know, too much of a gap. And then I apply it just here, and this kind of like helps to lift the area for me, and it's just a smaller amount here. I don't go all in on this section. So that area now is kind of like covered with the concealer. We're going to buff it in. Everything I do is going to be kind of like bouncing on the skin. I've had a few people comment saying, oh, this is what buffing means. This is what like gliding means, like dabbing means, and like I think you're looking for this word. Like everyone's going to have a different version of what they think it is. I call it buffing. To me, it's buffing because as I'm bouncing, I'm kind of like buffing it, like I'm kind of like, I don't know how to explain that, but like as I'm bouncing, the sponge is kind of like very lightly flicking off. Again, if you want to call that something else, call it something else. I'm not saying that my way of describing it is the right way, but that's just my way of describing it, and hopefully visually you can see what it is that I'm actually doing. Now I'm going to go into my under eye area, and I am basically buffing, bouncing. So I am literally just kind of like going close to the under eye area, taking this up here because I don't want to move the sponge around too much. Like you don't want to like drag the sponge because you're just basically going to be like kind of disturbing the skincare that you applied. It's just kind of not going to be as smooth. See how we've now got that all covered, the dark circles are gone. Now we are going to go in with the foundation. I'm going to use my Kat Von D Good Serum foundation. Okay, so I've got it on the back of my hand. I'm going to get my sponge, which again is damp, and I'm now basically going to drag some of that foundation and just kind of buff it into the sponge. And okay, now what we're going to do is start bouncing on the skin. We're going to start from the top and we're going to work our way down. The key thing here is that you make sure there is not too much foundation on this sponge. You really just need a little bit on the sponge, which is why I kind of like drag a little bit on my hand, buff it into the sponge, and then you're buffing it into your skin. You don't want to grab foundation and smear it on your face and then move it around. It is not going to give you the same kind of finish. It's going to become patchy, it's not going to look smooth, and it could end up looking kind of uneven as well. So we're going to go straight ahead and go into the forehead here. It's going to like nicely kind of like start covering up the skin, and you can see I'm keeping each bounce close to one another. Like for example, I'm not going here and then there. Like it's kind of like fluidly moving along. There you go. That forehead is done. It's nice and smooth. And now I'm going to go do the same thing. Drag a bit of the foundation, buff it into the sponge. Maybe just as a kind of like rule of thumb, drag, buff 3 times. I don't know how that was 4 or 5 times, but buff three times and then start buffing into your skin. That way you know that each time you buff it into your sponge, you've got to do it 3 times before you put it, onto your skin. So we're going to go down the nose now. I like kind of having a order of where I go. Usually I do the forehead, go down the nose, go around the sides of the nostrils. There you go, that's all done on the upper lip. And then I start going onto the under eye area. Same thing. And we're buffing the same way all the way across the face. Like, we're not changing our application. Okay, now I go onto the jawline area. I always do my cheeks last. I think it's just habit now because I usually underpaint, so I don't want to kind of like touch the darker areas with the sponge. So usually I would have my like dark concealer here, which is kind of like obviously dark, so I don't want the sponge to touch it. Make sure you go into the jawline because you really don't want to get that kind of mask effect that you can get if you don't go into the jawline. You can see we're slowly getting there. So you can see we've applied the foundation now. We have it everywhere on the face. There's no area without any foundation. So everything is kind of like connected. Even though when we applied it, we started here, then we worked down. That's why you have these small movements, because you're making sure that you are getting it everywhere. And I know it can be very easy to kind of think, well, I would be much quicker if I just went like that. It's not going to give you the same finish. Trust me, I know, I've been doing this long enough. It's not going to give you the same finish. And if it does, like if you end up having to go like this, you're always going to end up having to correct it at some point later on, like before you finish your entire look, to try and kind of tidy up those rushed, like when you cut corners, you're going to have to kind of like clean it up after. So you might as well just do it the right way to begin with. So we've got the foundation everywhere nicely. It looks nice and smooth. I don't feel like I can see like too much texture. It doesn't look dry, even though my skin was feeling dry. And now what we're going to do is set this. Now I'm not going to apply powder everywhere because I actually don't want my face to be fully matte today, but you can apply it everywhere if you want. So I'm just going to get rid of this creasing on my under eye area before I go in with my powder. And I usually just use the tip of the sponge to just pull out any extra foundation. I've got my powder and I'm just going to grab that and put it on my under eye area. There you go. I'm just going to put a little bit on the forehead. I am going to take it up along this area here. I just don't want it around the cheek too much. I usually just get my big brush. This is my Veil brush. I get my Real Techniques brush. And then I just dust off this powder on the under eye area. I'm going to very quickly do my brows and I'll be back in a sec. I'm back from doing my brows. I added just a little bit of kind of like lip oil and that's it. So I just wanted you to see what the base looks like. I haven't applied any kind of bronzer, any blush, any highlight, nothing like that. So the only things that we've done on the skin is everything that you have seen other than the brows and the lips. But yeah, I wanted you to kind of like see exactly how you can create a kind of really nice smooth finish. Hopefully that was detailed enough for you. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments box below. And don't forget that if I don't always respond to comments and I just give it a heart and a like, it means that I have taken note of it. So I have definitely read it and I'll probably answer it within another future video. It's just really difficult to kind of like answer every single comment. And I know some of you write some really detailed kind of questions on there and it's very difficult to kind of like answer you, to be honest with it. Sometimes it's so hard to put the answer into words, so I just kind of like add it to a list of things that at some point I need to kind of like film and cover in my tutorials. Don't forget that all the products are listed in my description box below and there are several different discount codes that you guys can use. They're well worth it. I know makeup is expensive, so I really wanted to kind of like get a few discount codes for you so that you can use them and get that kind of 10%, 15%, and some of them maybe, I think maybe maybe even 20% off, but they're all listed below in my description box. And don't forget, I do have a vlog channel. Please head over there and show me some love. There's loads of stuff on there, like my trips to New York and what I get to do when I'm not filming for YouTube. You get to just spend the day with me. It's real life and it's real talk. So I hope you do show me some love over there. Oh my God, words came out wrong there. But I hope you do show me some love over there. Now, what else is there? I think that's about it. And I hope that's really kind of like made it easy for you to understand, and you can see that it's not just the products you use, it's the technique, it's the products that you use on your skincare, it's the type of texture that you use. You want to really create that nice kind of inviting skin for your foundation to sit on so that it looks smooth and it's not aggravated. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this, and wherever you are in the world, I'm sending you loads of good vibes, and I'll see you soon. I really do hope you've enjoyed this video today, and if you did, please do give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also hit that bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos, and I'm going to see you on the next video.